people? I'm back. It is Sunday morning, June 19th. It is Father's Day. It's right around midnight on Father's Day. I'm sitting here making this video, but welcome back to Easy Speaks. I can say that because whether I make videos consistently or not, in my mind, Easy Speaks will always be a thing. It'll always live on. So when it's time for me to jump in front of the camera and talk about a little something, Easy Speaks is right there ready to roll. So welcome back to Easy Speaks. It's funny because a few years ago I did a video just to kind of get some thoughts off about Mother's Day, and now it's funny I'm sitting here doing a video about Father's Day. I want to talk about fatherhood for those who are already fathers, those who are looking to become a father in the future, those who may be expecting. And I don't want to talk about it from a perspective of me knowing all that there is that has to do with fatherhood. I don't think anyone really can do that. But more so from a perspective of my own experience, for one, and two, that of a young father who is learning more about himself and just trying to figure out what fatherhood means and what it means to be a dad, and how you learn and grow and maneuver and show up in different places and spaces. I feel like I have a lot on my mind about it, and I want to talk about it. I also feel like over the past, 3 to 4 years plus, I've experienced a number of different things just kind of back to back, to where I was thinking about it last night and I was like, I feel like for better or for worse, I've gone through or put myself or been in situations that, many guys probably look at and be like, well, I might have experienced one of those things, right? I might have, taken the steps to build a family and get married and go on and live that traditional family life, right? I haven't done that yet, but I'm working on it. I've also been in a position to where I was a single dad, right? And just trying to figure out what it was like to be an individual father, right? And figure out how to maneuver through life on my own. I've been in situations where maybe I was kind of dibbling and dabbling in multiple relationships. Been down that road as a father, and just kind of knowing and feeling some of that guilt, right? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's what I'm telling myself. And having to kind of think through and work through that. And then now, I'm to a place where I'm again working on trying to build and establish a family consistently and with stability, right? And hopefully a little bit more of a mature mindset and approach. But even still, and this is to some of the guys that maybe grew up in environments where you didn't get a chance to see that on a consistent basis. Working through some of the brokenness that I know that I have, and I'm learning and I'm growing each and every day. I'm learning things new about myself all the time, and that's not unique to being a dad. But when it comes to learning about yourself and the position that you put yourself in as a man, that's super critical. And I carry a lot of that weight and pressure, to be honest with you, because you always want better for your kids, right? Unfortunately, the harsh reality is that we gonna mess our kids up. We are, each and every one of us, moms, dads. We gonna mess our kids up. And the faster you accept that, the faster you can move on from that and know and understand that, while you might want to be perfect, you can't. You literally can't. But you can go out and do your very best. And that's all they can ask for in the end. That's all they can ask for. So for example, for me, I look back on my life, and for the longest time I felt like I had everything that I needed, right? I grew up in an environment where I had a lot of people around me. I felt like I had, and this is not to say that I didn't, but this is my interpretation as a kid coming up. I felt like I had everybody around me that I would have ever needed, right? My mom, she was like a warrior. Like anything that I would ever need, my mama could do it. It didn't matter what it was, right? Like she was always there. If I ever needed anything, she got it. If I, you know, whatever, if I have a question, she can answer it. Like whatever, mom could do it all, right? Um, I didn't know at the time that mom really, she can't do it all. She doesn't know it all, right? There's certain things that she wasn't equipped to do. It wasn't her job, it wasn't her responsibility. I didn't know that at the time, right? But as a kid coming up, I'm like, my mom can do everything, right? On top of my mom, I've got extended family, I've got my grandparents, my aunts, the church family, like I got everybody, right? But through all of that, what I was missing was that stable father figure. I was missing that, right? And so now I'm growing up and I'm trying to be a man and trying to do certain things that I don't all the way have the tools to do, right? And so it gets a little sticky when you're a young man trying to be a grown man, and in doing that as a man, you're also trying to like parent yourself at the same time while you're trying to parent somebody else, right? Like we hear all the time the phrase, all these kids out here having kids. Like we kind of joke about it low key, but it's also 100% real. It's 100% real, and I'm a walking testament of that, right? I still feel like in some ways I'm working out of my childish ways or childish ways of thinking or something along those lines, right? But in doing that, what I'm doing truthfully is reparenting myself in certain ways that I wasn't equipped with when I stepped into fatherhood, right? And so for young fathers who are, you know, just stepping into the game or like looking ahead to having kids, no one understand that like the place and space that you come from is just as important as the place and space that you're going, right? And so take the opportunity when you have it, if you have it, to really solidify some of that stuff, to solidify the relationships that you have with your parents, the relationship that you have with your dad, the relationship that you don't have with your dad, right? Have those conversations before you step into fatherhood, right? Secure some of that stuff. And I'm not saying to take everything that they didn't give you or you know, whatever, and just plug it in and be like, oh, bet I'm ready for fatherhood. I'm locked and loaded and ready. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. But I'm putting this bug in your ear just for you to be mindful of the fact that those gaps that you have in your heart, in your spirit, in your manhood, they show up. They show up, right? And it's not always just in how you parent your kids, but it's how you move as a man, how you move as a partner. Those things they're real. They're real. Do not sleep, okay? And again, I'm not some hero dad, right? I'm sitting here making this video because this sits on me and it weighs on me a little bit, and I really carry a lot of this. And here's another thing I'm gonna get into, but I carry a lot of this, and I felt called to just sit and talk to this camera and talk to the person that needs to hear what I'm saying. And I'll sit and have this conversation with anybody, young, old, I don't care. We can have this conversation. But the other thing that I'll say, and why I think I feel some of the weight of this, is because I think because of the experience that I had growing up, I put a lot of weight on myself to be like the absolute best dad that I can possibly imagine myself being, right? Because I'm truthfully, I'm overcompensating and trying to be there and trying to do all that I possibly can, because I don't know that I felt like I had that coming up, right? And so to me, going here, there, and everywhere, far and beyond, to my understanding of being what that father is, like that's just mandatory. Like that's there's no option. That's just what it is. I'm not going to deviate from that ever, because you know, over time I started to understand some of the places where I'm empty and some of the pain that was left there from missing out on that coming up myself. So to me, my child my children will never experience anything like that because that's what I experienced. And so I truthfully overcompensate, and you do what you got to do for your kids. But for me, I know for a fact I overcompensate in this area because of my experience. Um, and again, it's something that I say just for you to be mindful of, not to fault you for being a rock star dad. Do that. Take pride in it, right? That's your offspring. They're gonna be like you, whether you like it or not. So come correct, okay? So yeah, man, being a dad it's a lot of, teaching and playing and all the things that you see, on social media and that you see on the surface. But to me, being a dad and being a father figure, being a man in your children's lives means acting and moving like a whole, thorough, secure man. Okay? So when we talk about manhood training and really identifying some of the things that you need to do better and working on them, that ties into fatherhood. Okay? When men in our communities reach out and touch, young people who may not have a stable father in the home or in their lives, they're looking for men, like solid men that may not be perfect, but are moving in that way, in that direction, something that a young person can follow and hold on to. Okay? That's what me personally, that's what I'm working towards, right? Being that person for my daughter. And, one day I might have a son, might have me a little junior out here, you feel me? That's what I'm working on. Knowing that I got some areas I need to work on. Okay? Communication is not my strong suit. It's actually, I take that back. I'm not even gonna put that in the atmosphere because I'm actually a really good communicator. Okay, when I choose to. And the part that I gotta touch on, real quick before I shut this video down that I haven't really talked about yet, is just the importance, if you are a believer, in preparing your mind, preparing your body, preparing your soul to step into fatherhood, and knowing that the ultimate father, the perfect father, is God, right? Don't rely on your own flesh, rely on your own being to be that person, for your kids, right? Tie your knot with God first, man. The position that the position that fathers take in a child's life is here, right? The child may be down here, but you're right here. But God, man, let him reign on you so that what your child receives is that much more fruitful. I'm being 100%, I'm so serious. I'm dead serious right now. I'm so serious. Okay? For those who believe, right? For men who are already fathers, for men who are looking to become fathers, tie your knot with God. Okay? Tie your knot with God. All right? It'll be the most important thing you ever do. All right? If you're looking to build a family, tie your knot with God. All right? As long as you stay tight with him, he's going to stay tight with you. Why? Because he created you. Make room for him, and allow him to move in you so that you can move in your children's lives the best way possible, man. Happy Father's Day to my fathers, my dads, all of the men who have poured into me. Thank you. I may have talked about my experience in, ultimately kind of becoming an adult and trying to figure out manhood still a little bit, but thank you for your impact on me, your influence, your stability. You know who you are. My dad, my father, my stepdad, Coach Chris, you know, Big Purcell, Coach Joe. I don't forget you, Coach Joe. You were instrumental in my life. Some of my other football coaches, um, my grandparents, my grandfathers, my papa. He's the top of the food chain. You know what I mean? Um, thank y'all. Seriously, thank y'all. I'm gonna keep working to be better, to be more stable, to be more open, be more communicative, all these things, right? I know I got some work to do, but I thank y'all for getting me to this point, helping me, and just always being there. But yeah, man. But for any fathers, any men that want to have this conversation, that have success stories they want to get off their chest, man, let me know, man. Let me know. I love to hear about it. If you just want to connect, we can connect. Just holler at me. I'm here. I might not be out here on Facebook or whatever, or Instagram, but I'm out here. I'm doing my thing as best I can. So until next time, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all have a happy Father's Day, man.